Penny here, and I'm here with another vlog, another shoddily, unprofessional, slapdashed vlog where I look really, really orange and terrible because of the light in my room. My camera's kind of wonky, got some wonky thing on here. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. There we go. Hi, so that did not fix it in the slightest. Okay, we'll be wonky, that's cool. Hi, I'm orange, my voice is almost gone. My hair is wet. I've had the best bath, I've had in a long time. So, I go back from, Insomnia. Here we go. Here's the badge. I'm a little bit delusional, a little bit, I don't even know. I'm very tired right now. I think I'm getting sick. Here we go. Insomnia 58 badge. I got my Insomnia 56 badge on here, too. I didn't go to Insomnia 57, so there's just there's no wristband there for that. And I got my other Insomnia badges over there, but I had to take them off, because I'm dumb, and took them off for job stuff, I think, but I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. I just wanted to sit down and have a chat with you. I wanted to do a post-Insomnia 58 recap vlog. I'm doing it now for some stupid reason because it's like 1:30 in the morning and my sleep schedule is really, really messed up. But I wanted to talk about Insomnia 58 because I like doing little recap vlogs at the end of conventions. I don't feel, I've got my, look, I got a Patreon badge t-shirt on. That badge got me. How cool is that? Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? You'll never miss me in a crowd because it's a really nice lime green. I was wearing a lime green shirt today as well. I like lime green. I don't wear it much, so I always stand out when I wear it. So I like it a lot. I don't normally film during conventions because I really like, I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this quite a bit in videos. I probably talked about it in my Minecon recap vlog as well. I'm going to adjust this while I speak. I don't normally film during conventions. I look really short now. Hello. Is this a good angle? Do you like seeing my ceiling a lot? I don't normally vlog too much during conventions because I enjoy taking everything in. And I feel like if I need to make content, if I need to be filming stuff and thinking, okay, I'm going to put these videos out for people and people are going to see them and it's going to be great. I want to capture all this behind the scenes stuff and I want to show people how cool, you know, Insomnia is and all the people behind the scenes and things like that. If I feel like I have to do that, then I'm not enjoying myself. And for me, when I go to conventions aren't work for me. Conventions are holiday for me, and like if you guys have been keeping up to date with me on Twitter and things like that, you know that Brits and Butts was just before Insomnia. So like I've been busy working right up until Insomnia. So Insomnia was my holiday, Insomnia was my break, and I didn't want to spend it thinking about like content and things like that. Like, you know, when I was at Minecon, I was thinking like, do I want to have some content? And I wasn't really sure. And I saw the people vlogging around me, and like, there's nothing wrong with vlogging at conventions. You know, there's loads of advantages to it. So like, you know, your viewers who can't make it might want to see behind the scenes. I can speak, I swear. Viewers might want to see behind the scenes stuff. And, you know, they're very, you know, popular vlogs, doing convention-y vlogs. People like seeing shenanigans, they're fun. You know, what's more fun than seeing a bunch of your favourite YouTubers hanging out at, you know, conventions and things like that. But whenever I see people vlogging, you know, all I think is people who I'd normally talk to, I now don't want to talk to because they're vlogging. And it's like, that to me feels like, yeah, you're hanging out and having fun on camera, but you're not really interacting with people. And there's some people who spend so much time vlogging, and it just feels like it takes away from the event, I guess. Like, I don't know, you're always behind a camera, or you're always in front of a camera putting on a face and things like that, and it just feels like it goes against the reason why I personally go to conventions. And I go to conventions because I want to have fun. I want to hang out with all of my friends that I don't normally, there's a fly and it's really distracting me and I really want to squash it. All my friends who I don't normally get to hang out with, I mean, hang out online, you talk to them and stuff, but hanging out face to face. So that's why I go to conventions. So I don't normally film stuff, which is why this is the longest introduction ever as to why I do, like, you know, convention recap vlogs. But there we go. I'm still feeling kind of short because I'm slumping a bit. I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. I look so horrible and tired. Now that's really low, but that's fine. I'll just have to slump a lot. I'm hunching now. I'm hunching. There we go, that's better. There we go. Camera just fixed itself by half falling off the bed. Thank you, camera. So yeah, so I like doing a little recap vlog. Now, recap vlog isn't coherent usually, because I normally do the recap vlogs like right after the conventions happened. I think that's when I'm going to be most honest and have the most genuine emotional reaction to what went on, because I'm not one for being like, and this is what I did at the convention, and here's a clip from it, and this is the merch that I got from this convention, and let me tell you where it's all from and where you can find it yourself. That's not who I am. I'm, you know, like, look at me, I'm pajama bottom, flowery pajama bottoms. It's 1:40 a.m. and I'm so tired that I feel like I'm speaking strangely and different, and I'm sorry, and I'm wearing the lime green shirt, and my hair is wet, and my camera's half falling off the bed on this stupid tripod. Oh, there it goes. Yep, there it goes. So that's the kind of recap vlog you're getting, whether you like it or not. So for those of you who don't know, because I know there's a bunch of people who don't actually know what... And there's 2 flies out. Get out of here, fly. Go. Shoo. Ah. I don't like flies in my room. I don't like flies flying around when I'm trying to vlog or speak. God damn you. For those of you who don't know, Insomnia is it's a gaming convention. It's the UK's. They advertise it bigger than the actual title. Like, do I have a flyer in here or a leaflet? It's over on the other side of my room, but advertise it bigger than the actual name of the convention itself. Like, the UK's biggest gaming festival, and it is. It's huge. It's massive. It happens 3 times a year. It happens during winter, which I think is the smallest one. During spring, around Easter time, and during summer, right at the end of August, which is what just happened now. So it happens a bunch of times a year, and I've been to 4 now. My first one was Insomnia 48. I think it's when they just started including Minecraft, like a prominent Minecraft area into the mix. And it's kind of split into lots of different sections. So, for example, it's evolved a lot over the years. But, for example, this year they have the kind of bring your own computer LAN section. They have esports and the Twitch stage. They have panels with YouTubers doing Minecraft, YouTubers doing, you know, like games like I Am Bread and things like that. They have big giveaways. They have lots of indie games and indie sections and things like that. They have shops. They had robot war. There's another fly. They had lots of robot war fighting kind of things this year, and drone racing and things like that. Like, there's different Minecrafty sections. And it's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And the pub quiz, I finally made it to pub quiz. I'll get onto that in a bit. But anyway, yeah, so there's a ton going on this year, like a ton, like the biggest one yet, I think. I'm almost positive it is. It's moved to the NEC in Birmingham recently, so it's in a lot of a bigger area. So I knew this was going to be big. Now I went with is kind of a weird term to use, because I feel like I had a core group of people I was with, and there's also an even smaller core group of people who I stayed with at like the hotel and things like that. So I guess I went with people from Brits and Butts. I went with Edson, I went with Fred, and I went with Quentin, Titty, as we call him inappropriately in public, which probably alarms a lot of people, and we should stop calling him that. But anyway, we were staying nearby a hotel. It was really nice, the fact we were staying at a nearby hotel, because I've never stayed near the Insomnia. I've never stayed near Insomnia before. I've always been far away, and I always feel like I miss out on stuff when I stay far away. This time I felt close. I felt ready to jump into the action. We can nip back to the hotel and nip back again. And yeah, it was quite a bit more expensive, but it was honestly so worth it. It was so worth that extra money, because I just felt so much more involved in things. Yeah, it was great to be nearby. So we all arrived on Thursday, and we had like a really nice chill Thursday night, and we went to bed early-ish so we could have some energy for the onslaught of the convention. We were all quite tired from Brits and Butts, and there was a couple of things that I went into Insomnia in mind about. I wanted to talk to Special Effect. Now, Special Effects are the charity that Brits and Butts, we guys raised money for. And they're a charity that provide gaming equipment for those who are physically disabled and unable to play video games. They provide them with equipment where you control things with your chin and control things with your eyes, and where things are reduced to very basic but really intuitive button pressing, so you don't have to be fiddling around with a controller and things like that. And they do some incredible stuff, and they have their equipment at every Insomnia on display for people to try. And, you know, they're more than happy to explain how things work to people as well. And, you know, this is why we raised money for them. I have seen them at pretty much every Insomnia except for 48, which I don't remember them being at, but that was a blur anyway, but they've been to the last few conventions, the last few Insomnias that I've been to, so I know that they're a dedicated group of people who are always turning up and, you know, trying to get, you know, more and more people to see what their charity is about. And so we really wanted to raise money for them, and we met a couple of their volunteers sometimes as well, and, you know, they were always so welcoming to us, so it was amazing because we got to meet them, we got to meet people like quite high up and people who'd actually legitimately watched Brits and Butts and enjoyed us, and that was so incredible to finally meet these people who'd been watching us and were like, oh, you guys were driven around, it was great, it was really funny and things like that. So that was really wonderful to meet special effects. So that was something that I wanted to do. Second thing was a panel. So this is my first time on a panel at Insomnia. I was on a panel at Minecon with Godiva Gaming. There was about 8 of us there, I think. This time we also had a panel, Godiva Gaming. And like Minecon, I applied for it, so I had to pitch the idea, and I was really nervous we weren't going to get it because we did it very, very last minute, but we did. It was great. Katie and Phil came through and let us have the panel, and I was so excited. But as we got closer, I got really, really scared and nervous because I realised there were only going to be 4 of us on it instead of 8, which means there's a bit of a reduced, you know, pool of people to be speaking, so the spotlight's going to be on you more, so that was nerve-wracking. And then somehow, I guess, just kind of because I applied for it, I ended up sort of being the one who was then going to be like introducing and emceeing the panel, so I was so nervous about that, and I'd like written out an introduction and tweeted out asking for questions and things like that, and you guys came through and sent loads of great questions, which made for some really good content for the first half of our panel, and then the second half was more like Q&A and stuff. So I was so nervous beforehand. Ask anyone who'd hung out with me that day and they'll tell you that I was just like, it's going to go wrong, this is going to go wrong, that's going to go wrong, I'm going to mess up, they're going to mess up, everything's going to mess up, we're doomed, let's go, let's quit. But it went really, really well, and honestly, personally for me, I feel it went better than the Minecon one. It was very different. Minecon we were on a smaller stage, but then the crowd was a bit more full. Because it was smaller, I guess. I don't know. I think it was about the same number of people mainly. But the expo stage was bigger, so it was a lot more intimidating. There was only 4 of us. But I think people engaged with our panel and the idea of our panel a lot more, especially parents. And we had like a crime company coming up to us afterwards and wanting to talk to us about like internet safety and things like that. And we had a lot of great questions and people who provided these really interesting insights. And I had a bunch of people coming up to me afterwards, like, you know, staff who worked in Insomnia and, you know, presenters and things like that. And they came up to me and they said I did really well. And that is, you know, I'm so happy about that because I'm normally so terrible, I think, with confidence and presenting things. And I was so nervous beforehand, again. So I'm really glad that it worked out. As soon as I was on that stage, I was fine. As soon as I was on the stage talking in front of everyone, I knew what I needed to say. I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't even really need the piece of paper that I'd had just in case. I don't like holding paper when I present things anyway. So that went incredibly well, and I'm so happy it did. And I met Nettie for the first time, and Nettie is such a lovely, lovely lady, and I bumped into her a couple more times after that in the VIP room and things like that, and she was just so welcoming and like checking in, seeing how I was doing and things like that. So it was really lovely to meet her. And Paige and Jess I saw again. It's always a pleasure to see them, and we rocked it. We rocked the panel. So that's another thing off my list. Number 3, I don't know, like buy something. I bought some Zelda leggings. Where are my Zelda leggings? I bought some. Let me show you my Zelda leggings. Ah, there we go. I got them. Check them out. Aren't they nice? Nice Zelda pattern. Funny story. I saw these at a previous Insomnia. I can't remember which one it was. It was either the last one that went by or the summer one. I think it was just the summer one, so a year ago. And I really wanted to get them. And I've been dithering about them for ages and ages and ages, and I decided, no, I'll leave it to the last day and decide if I, shut up car, and decide if I want to get them then. And I decided, yeah, I'll get them, and I went and they'd sold out. So I was really glad they had them this time, and they were a little bit cheaper than last time as well. So I was happy about that. 4, I wanted to hang out with all of my friends and say hi to new faces and old faces and just have a good time. And I did that 100%. Like, I had such a great time this time, and I bumped into lots of, you know, faces that I knew from previous Insomnias or already knew before Insomnia. I made, you know, a bunch of new friends as well and talked to people in the VIP room who I'd never talked to before, and and you know, talk, like met people that are like my patrons and things like that, who are amazing people and so supportive of my content. It was great to finally be able to meet them. And I got to hang out with, like, you know, people like Quentin and Edson and Fred, who I see, some of them only once a year, some of them hopefully more. But, like, they're all such good friends of mine, and I got to hang out with them for basically 2 weeks if you include Brits and Butts, and that was just, like, so lovely. So I was really happy about that, and I got to hang out with people. There are still some people who I did not get to say hi to much, or I didn't see much of. So like Zoltan Phil, Irish Phil, I hardly saw him. I saw him at a very drunken point in the night during the pub quiz, and that was it. Phil Ham, I still haven't met you, bloody Philip Ham. Philip Ham, I'm going to meet you someday, you bastard. Who else didn't I see? I didn't get to say hi to Noxite, which is a shame, but the Nox crew booth seemed really busy this time, or at least whenever I walked by, so I never got a chance to say hi. So hello, sorry, didn't get to say hi to you. Next time, I promise. This is the problem. People say I'm a social butterfly, and I don't see myself as that, because I see a social butterfly as someone who's really extroverted and confident, and I'm not confident, and I'm only a little bit extroverted, I think. But I do know a lot of people somehow, and that's the shame, because I always end up not seeing everyone who I want to when I'm at a convention. But with the thing with Insomnia, it happens 3 times a year, and I know I'm going to make it to future Insomnias. Maybe not the next one, but, you know, maybe not the one after that, but probably at least once a year I'll try to make it to one. So at the very least, it's not a very sad goodbye, because I know I'll be seeing those people again soon. You know, there's the people at the Immersive Minds booth. I talked to them a lot more this time, which was really nice. I got to talk to Stephen a lot more. And we were talking about, you know, plays in Minecraft and things like that, which is really, really interesting. I got to meet a bunch of the Nox crew people who I hadn't met before. I got to see Gregan do a little bit of casting. We snuck up behind him and watched him do some casting, and he was wearing his fancy tie and stuff. And like last time I saw him at a convention, he was doing a lot more like Nox crew stuff. So it was interesting to see like a different aspect of that. And like just hanging out with people all day as well. It was really great. And I had some people come up to me and ask for pictures and ask for signatures, and that was really surreal, because I'm only a small beans YouTuber, so having people ask for signatures and stuff it didn't weird me out, that's the wrong word, but it's more like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not used to this. Like, you want a signature from me, but why? I'm just, you know, a grill. The cosplay was amazing this time. There was a guy who had these fantastic wings. Like, I'll go into stuff that stood out to me. That kind of goes off topic a little bit. I'll go to that in a minute. But 5, the thing I wanted to do the most, well, no, I wanted to hang out with my friends the most. Okay, the second most, number 5, I wanted to go to the pub quiz, because I've missed out on the pub quiz every single Insomnia I've been to. And every time I miss out on it, everyone talks about how much fun it is, and, like, I'm so gutted that I can't make it, and I managed to make it this time. Shout outs to Iris and Dwyer, because they hit me up and they were like, hey, do you have spare seats on your table for the pub quiz? And I'm like, the pub quiz they're selling tickets? How did I not know this? So so they told me about that, and so we shared a table, and I had such an incredible night, and I can't describe the pub quiz, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it's just a manic, amazing, fun, crazy evening, and one of my favourite nights ever, let alone Insomnia, like ever at a convention. Like, it was just a blast, and I'm so glad I didn't miss it this time, and if I miss it again in the future, I'm going to be gutted, because it's way too much fun to miss. Definitely try and sign up for the pub quiz if you're ever going to an Insomnia in the future, and you're over the age of 18, and you like free beer. So that was my 5th thing. So basically all the boxes got ticked this Insomnia, and I did a bunch of other great things. So we went to see a lot of cool cosplay stuff. I tried out a bunch of indie games. There's some really cool looking ones which I'm going to keep an eye on, which maybe I'll do video spotlights of. If you guys are interested in that, maybe I'll do some video spotlights of some indie games if they have them available in the Steam store or things like that. I got to hang out with Special Effects and talk to them more and try out all their equipment. There's a little video of Edson and I doing some chin-controlled Rocket League, so I'll definitely be editing that up and putting that out at some point. So indie games were fantastic. I had a good mooch around the stalls as well, and there was some good stuff there. Briefly checked out the esports in the VIP area. I don't really tend to hang out in the VIP area so much, because most of my friends aren't they're not VIPs. They're not very important people, but they're not necessarily invited into the area. And I go to conventions again to hang out with friends, so I don't really like being in the VIP area for that long. But I did check it out and it was nice. I got free water. There was a thunderstorm at the time, so that was cool. Pub quiz, as I said, it was incredible. The Robot Wars fighting arena thing with the mini robots was so cool. Like, I didn't grow up with Robot Wars. Ed's been introducing me to Robot Wars. We watched the first few seasons, and I've been watching the new season as well. And, like, I like robots fighting. I like watching it. Seeing it in real life is completely different. It is so incredibly exciting. And the smell of metal on metal, seeing things smoking right there in front of you, things being thrown around towards glass, and things like that, like, that's just crazy and so cool. I had a blast watching that. Didn't get to try out any drone stuff. There were some things for The Last Guardian, which is, I'm so excited about The Last Guardian. Really excited, mainly because I actually have a console to play it on now. First bloody console ever. So excited. God, what else? There's so much. I'm trying to, like, do a mental map in my mind of where everything was. Yeah, the Immersive Mind people, I talked to them a lot. Noxcrew I hung out about with a little bit. There's the Hypixel area, which I didn't check out, just because I can go on Hypixel whenever I want, so whatever, man. The panel was a whole new thing that I checked out. I also checked out a panel about Twitch streamers talking about Twitch and streaming and what works for them and things like that, and that was really interesting. I might actually do a separate video on that at some point as a kind of response and reflection on my own streaming content, but that's, for another time. And we really didn't watch many panels this time. Normally I watch more panels, but we really didn't watch many this time. But we took in a lot more of the games around us. We tried out a few new board games. That was a lot of fun. Cult Express, always my favourite, but they took it away and wouldn't let us play it anymore because they ran out of ones to sell, so there's no point in them displaying it. So I was a little bit gutted about that. Checked out the retro area a little bit, but I didn't play any of those games, really. I tried out a lot more of the indie games this time, though, especially there was a really scary one called Mannequin, which all my friends were scaring me and jumping and, like, grabbing my shoulder when I was trying to play it, so that was spooky, but that was a really good game, and the sound design in it was really good. And yeah, just hung out. Like, a lot of the evenings were spent doing stupid BuzzFeed quizzes and chatting in our really crummy, tiny hotel room. And they were honestly the best nights. Like, I don't know. I can't describe it. And if I go into too much detail, I'm going to be really sad and probably cry, because saying goodbye to everyone over the last day or so has just been... It's been awful. It's been absolutely awful. I hate goodbyes so much. I can't deal with goodbyes in the slightest. And saying goodbye to people who I might not see for, a year, let alone a few months, was just so painful. And, I know I'll see them again, but goodbyes are terrible. And that's the one thing about conventions which I hate. Like, every time I go to a convention I have to say goodbye, I always say the same thing, which is always like, I don't want to go to another convention again, you can't make me. And of course I do. I always go back to conventions because they're always so much fun. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my camera a little bit. It's not wanting to be fixed. Oh, don't do it. There we go. But I do hate goodbyes, and I didn't cry that much this time, weirdly, but it wasn't because I wasn't sad, because my heart was breaking to say goodbye to people. But I think I'm still very emotionless and very drained and tired and because I've just had 2 weeks of basically hecticness. I can feel myself falling asleep doing this vlog. Like, I can feel my eyes getting really heavy. So I should probably end the vlog before I get too feelsy and emotional. If you do want to see a more detailed breakdown of all the people I hung out with and things like that, then you can go onto the link down below if I remember to put it there. If not, poke me about it in the comments, because I always forget links like that. But I did a twit longer on Twitter, which you don't have to have Twitter to read. You can just treat it like a blog post. But it was just thanking some of the people I hung out with this weekend. It's quite emotional, and I might have teared up a bit when I wrote it. And that doesn't even go into nearly enough detail about how much everyone who I hung out with this weekend means to me, and how much they absolutely rocked this weekend for me. And I really hope I see so many of these people again soon, because goodbyes suck so much. But if they're just sort of see you laters, then they're not quite so difficult. And I know I'll be seeing so many of these people again, so it's okay. There's no need to cry at all. Oh gosh, I'm such an emotional blah right now. This has been a very strange vlog, I know. I know I'm a little bit off and a bit strange, and I hope it hasn't been too weird to watch. I need to kill this bloody fly that keeps flying around my room, so I'm gonna go do that. I love you guys a lot, and if it wasn't for you guys watching, and if it wasn't for you guys who support me, like, monetarily, or support me with likes, support me with comments, support me by just generally having an amazing, incredible, supportive community, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't be able to go to Insomnia, so I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't have been to this one and seeing all my friends. So you guys make me this emotional wreck. Thanks a lot. But seriously, you guys, I don't know. I don't have words right now. I'm going to get deep again, but you know that I'm always thankful that without your support, I wouldn't be doing these things. And if you have any suggestions for things you actually want to see me film in the future, I'm not opposed to filming stuff if I know exactly what I need to film. It's just the general, I'm going to generally cover the, the whole of Insomnia sort of vlogs, which I'm a bit about. But if you're like, I would like to see a video of you playing an indie game that you liked there, maybe talking to the dev a little bit about it. Like that, I would be totally up for that if you guys want to see that. Like, just leave suggestions in the comments below. Maybe you want to see a little challenge between me and a couple of friends who are going to a convention. Like, I'm totally up for that. I do have a video of Just Dance. Alan and I, if you don't remember, Alan and I did a Just Dance competition at a previous Insomnia. We brought it back this time, and you can see who is the dancing champion. Maybe I win, or maybe he keeps his crown. Who knows? But he kicked my ass last time, so if you want to see some terrible dancing, we danced to These Boots Are Made for Walking, so I'm going to be uploading that at some point. The panel for Godiva is also going to be uploaded to the Godiva Gaming channel. I will be tweeting all that out and things like that, so you'll see that eventually. And yeah, that's it from me, Chief. I hope that was not the worst recap vlog in the world. I know I kind of rambled a lot. Oh, I've been rambling for like 20 minutes now. Whoopsie daisies. I'm going to finish off here. Peace and love to you all, and I'm going to go sleep and crash and probably cry myself to sleep because I miss everyone. But it's all worth it for the hellos. It's all worth it. And it's also worth it to buy lots of cool merch. Have a good night.